First time I found out about the Cruelty Man was my sister would tell me a story about when my family lived on the side of the road. So when they knew the Cruelty Man was coming along, so they obviously must have been, maybe, I don't know how they found out, but if there was one family that might be a little bit poorer than the other family, they'd go and they'd fill the little chest at the side of the tent with sugar and flour and tea, whatever. So when the Cruelty Man would come along, he'd go and he'd lift up all the chest lids to find out it was their food. And then if there was one family that mightn't have as much, then he'd lift up that lid and there was enough food there. So they were protecting each other, they protected their own. So that was a very interesting story to me, because I remember my mother used to always threaten us with the Cruelty Man. I come from a big family, so it's 10 boys and 4 girls. I'm the kind of third youngest, so if we were messing, which we did a lot of messing, and I won't lie, when I was small I was right bitch. My brothers, but then again, I fought my corner. But if we were bold or naughty, the mother threatened us with the Cruelty Man. But to me, the Cruelty Man was a bogeyman. So the bogeyman was a poor man that lived in the estate that we lived in. We moved into a house when I was about 3 or 4, I think. I was only around that age. And there was a man down the road, and every time then my mother, if we were messing, would say, such a man is going to get you. Well, he came into the house one day. Well, I couldn't get under the couch quick enough. I remember having horrors thinking this man was going to take me away. But the poor man was just in for a cup of tea. But that was actually a nightmare for me. It would literally fill me with fear. And I think at the time, the parents might threaten with the Cruelty Man, not realising the damage they were doing to this child. You know what I mean? The post-traumatic disorder that were given to us. But yeah, so from a very early age, I would have been familiar with the name of the Cruelty Man. No one ever came to our house in the actual official form as a Cruelty Man. Just the threat, and the threat was worse than the physical bit.